Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. Today, we have the shadow. Only the Shadow Knows by Bally. I think I might have messed up on this one, guys. I might have messed up on this one. So, here's the story. Guy called a couple days ago, wanting to know if we do pinball repairs. I say yes. He says, oh, I got a shadow. It needs shopped real bad. And a few other things done to it. But he said it needs shopped real bad. And, I told him, well, we mainly get them working. And, they function. We don't really do too much cosmetic stuff. He was like, but do you think you could shop it for me? It needs shopped real bad. I said, yeah, I'll probably do that and bring it by sometime. So I'm thinking it's going to be real rough. It's going to be filthy. He may want Ronnie to touch up some paint or something, because he's probably seen some of our videos. But I told him we don't really do too much cosmetic work. We don't like to do cosmetic work, really. We get the thing working, and we get it looking the best we can. Okay? And anyway, he brings it down. Remember, he said it needs shopped real bad. So he pulls up out front. We start unloading the thing. And I'm looking at it. I can see it. He's got the little cutesy little cards on there. It needs shopped real bad, people. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a little bit dirty in a couple spots, but I mean, I don't know. But we're going to try to do the best we can. So I actually wrote a detailed list this time. I actually got a detailed list. You're not going to believe it. Let me cover up his name. See, I've got a detailed list here. So he wants it cleaned and shopped. Well, let me say this. If you don't know what shopped means, it basically just needs clean. They call that shopping the playfield. You take a bunch of stuff off the playfield, you clean it, you usually wax it, you put all new rubbers on it, you get the light bulbs, make sure everything's working, all the light bulbs working, and that's called shopping the playfield. So he wants it cleaned and new rubbers. He's got a whole little baggie full of stuff. He wants all three flippers rebuilt. He's got the 3 flipper rebuild kits here. He wants a leg plate. Apparently the back left leg is a little loose, so a new plate. He wants the back latch. Here's the back latch. Bam. He wants, apparently the diverter, which is this one here, doesn't go all the way to the left. So that's a problem. So we got to fix that. Something about that ramp switch there. He wants moved to the right. You see that little switch? It's right there. We need to move it over here somewhere. Apparently that's a common problem on the shadow ones. I don't know. The guy knows all about pinballs apparently, and he's got a bunch of them. And he says that's a common problem on the shadow. He wants us to look everything over. And he wants new wire forms. These gold wire ramps. I told him I probably wasn't going to do that. I can see those are a little bit dirty. But here's my problem I've got. I can't just buy those wire ramps. To get those ramps, the only person I know that sells the ramps, well, I don't even know the guy. That's the main problem. But there's a guy who sells the wire forms, but he'll only sell them to you if you take yours off and ship them to him, and he'll ship you another set back. Well, here's my problem. This is not my machine. Even though the guy wants me to do that, here's my opinion. If I take these wire ramps off and I ship them to a guy, what happens if I don't get those wire ramps back? I'm on the hook for a new set of wire ramps that are $500–600. Do you understand? So I don't really want to do that. And I'm going to go off on a little bit of a rant here. And I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about things. Part of the problem is me and Ronnie, I guess. Because we come from humble beginnings. I mean, we came from nothing. You know, we didn't have much growing up. And, you know, anything we bought, we had to save up and pay for, you know. So even now, we're just not that picky about things. Like, for example, I still drive a truck with manual windows. I could go buy a brand new truck, but I don't want to buy a brand new truck. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I know what I've got. I know what I've done. So to go buy 30, 40 pinball machines and you want every little thing just perfect on every one of them just to impress your friends just ain't really what we're about. That's why you see us working on the old junk. We like the old stuff, fixing them, getting them working. It's supposed to be fun, you know. It's just a pinball machine. It's not. You're not supposed to get every little nick and scratch out of everything. We're just not really about that. We get it working, we clean it up the best we can, and we send it on its way. So I don't know. I think people are just being way too picky. It's supposed to be a game, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But we're going to do the best we can with this thing. But that's one of the reasons you don't see us working on the DMD. These are called DMD, dot matrix display, which is the little bit newer machines. I mean, I've got a couple of them that I've had over the years. But I don't go out searching for these because these people are just a lot more picky. I've just been doing this a long time, and that's just what I've learned. You get an old beat up Bally, you clean it up and sell it, and some guy's just going to want it for his game room and, you know, play with it a little bit, kind of have a good time. Same thing with the old arcade games. The arcade games, totally different set of people. So I fixed a Cruising World for a lady the other day, arcade game. Fixed it. She came in to pick it up. She didn't even hardly want me to plug the thing in. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to show you that it works. She was ready to put it on the truck before even checking it out. So the whole thing took 5 minutes to get it on the truck and out the door. This guy, once I get all this done, he's going to be lifting up the playfield, nitpicking every little thing. You know, it's not really worth it. All that to say, we're going to try to do the best we can. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. I really don't care if I did. That's just how I feel about things. And that's why you see Ronnie arguing with people in the comments, because the people who play pinball are just a lot more picky, especially the newer pinballs. Some people are cool, like the Bally guy, the Playboy guy. He's a nice guy. He's not all that picky about it. But for whatever reasons, these 90s and above pinballs, I don't know what's wrong with the people. Everybody's too picky anymore. Nobody had any wood paneling on their walls whenever they were a kid. Nobody drank from the water hose or something. I don't know what's going on with people these days. But everybody's too picky. But we're going to do what we can. So the first thing I'm going to try to do, so I'm going to try to get this latch, this leg plate on there. Guess I can put that latch on there. I'm going to start off slowly and just do what I can. Try to I don't know. I'm gonna need some Ronnie's help a little bit, but the problem is we're pretty backed up on pinballs. We've got several more that we've got to repair, which probably means we're too cheap, I guess. But I do get a couple DMDs. These are mine, but I don't go out hunting DMDs. I've just happened to get a couple. You know, I get good deals on them from time to time, and of course I'm going to buy them when I can get a good deal on them. But anyway, enough rambling. I guess I'm going to start doing a few things here. the leg plate. Now I'm going to go ahead and start shopping the playfield, take everything off, put it back. It's going to take me probably all day to do this, believe it or not. It just takes forever to get all the little ramps and everything off, and you got to clean it. Normally I would film all of that, but I mean, this one's pretty freaking clean. I don't even think you're going to be able to notice much of a difference. There is a little bit of what they call a ball trail there. The ball will leave a slight dirt trail as it comes down these little ramps, but I'm not going to film that for a few reasons. Number one, it's just going to take too dang long. Nobody's going to watch an hour of me cleaning the playfield, and even sped up, it would be an hour. And I kind of just want to get this thing knocked out. I'm getting behind on repairs. It's, you know, Ronnie usually does this type of stuff, but I'm trying to get a jump start on it. I'm hoping to get it all knocked out, and then I'm going to pass it back off to Ronnie, and he can fix that and figure out something on that switch, and maybe he'll play a game, and that'll be that. I kind of need to get this thing done, because what happens is somebody will call wanting to know if we can do a repair. I said, oh yeah, bring it on down. And then they'll want to know how long it'll be. So I give them a time, and you know, somebody else might call an hour later, or the next day, or 2 days from then. Then I give them a time, and before I know it, you know, I've got 4 or 5 machines, and you know, I'm already kind of under a time crunch. So yeah, we've got that Playboy we're working on. Got the Shadow. We got a Freedom back there we got to do next, and a Elton John, and a few other things. So we got to get these knocked out. So anyway, here's the before. You're probably not going to be able to tell much difference for the after, but he wants new ring. I'm going to put a new ring kit on it, obviously. We had a guy the other day leave a comment. See how this one's got yellow flipper rubbers? We had a guy said he can only play a pinball machine if it's got red flipper rubbers. Come on now. Everybody's too picky. Don't make me go off on a whole nother rant again. But that drives Ronnie crazy. They'll watch the whole freaking video, an hour long. Everything will be perfect. And the only thing he wanted to complain about was the flipper rubbers. Come on now. It's just a pinball machine, people. You're taking it too serious. But anyway, I'll be back when I get it all cleaned up. And, or maybe I won't be back. I don't know. Maybe I'll just hand it back off to Ronnie. Who knows? You're going to have to keep watching to find out, I guess. Well, I've got a lot of it off. I've got all the wire ramps off. This one here was a pain in the butt to get off because these two are connected together. I guess I could have unhooked it there. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these DMDs, to be honest with you, for customers anyway. I'll do mine, but this is a pain in the butt, and I already know this guy's super picky. So I got to be super, super careful whenever I'm taking off all these ramps so I don't scratch anything, or, you know. I've had this in my shop for about a week, and I've been kind of careful not to set anything on top of it, you know. On my machines, you know, I put stuff all over them. This one's a little too nice for us, I guess. I don't want to have to worry about it. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these, or try to feel them out a little bit better on the phone to see if I can tell if they're going to be super picky or not. I messed up on this one, I think, but we'll see. I'm going to try to get as nice as I can. We're still going. Everybody just relax. It'll be all right. All right. I got it all cleaned up. Got all the new Titan rubbers on it. He wanted color ones, like the purple ones are here. And it's kind of matched to the area of the playfield. See how this one's gray? Because it's got a little gray there. This one's black because it's got black here. This one's gray because that section's gray. And I changed all the little post sleeves too. It looks brand new to me. I mean, the wire railing has a little bit of wear on it, but ain't much I can do about that. So, there it is. Only two things left to do, I think, is we've got to figure out something on this. See how there's a gap there? It's supposed to be all the way over like that. And something about this switch here. We need to move that switch over some. Apparently that's a problem on this game. Don't know. Never had one of these before. But I'm going to tinker around with that. I may just leave that for Ronnie to do so he can do a little test play for you guys. That's something Ronnie, I'm sure, could figure out. I might be able to figure it out too, but I don't really want to. I'd rather just work on something else. So if I get in the mood to fix that, I'll be back. If not, Ronnie will probably be back and he'll figure it all out. All right, so remember we've got two of these on the playfield. This one's got the gap. That one over there works fine. So look at this one. This is the one that works good. See this bracket? It comes through it's got a rod. It comes through the playfield. It's got a couple set screws on it, and it's got this bracket. Look at that bracket. This is the good one. This is the one that's got the gap. And I don't know. Looks like somebody's been rigging this up to me. You see that? Looks like somebody put some JB Weld or something on it. So it's got a... I wonder if this one's got that much play. Oh yeah, it's got a little play too. It is pretty much doing the same thing. So, maybe I could just mess with these set screws. Maybe I can... I'm going to try to loosen the set screws, move it a little bit, and tighten it back and see if that'll do anything for me. All right, so I ended up messing around with the set screws, moving them around a little bit. I tightened up that spring. And one of the set screws was a little loose. So I think it just wasn't quite adjusted right. So we'll see. See how it's all the way to the right? That one's working fine. This one's all the way to the right. And remember, it would stop about right there. Let's see. Bam. What do you think? Let's try it again. Yep. You want to see it again? You're not happy with 2 times? Here we go. Bam. Bam. What do you think? One more. Bam. Bam. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. I think it's been misadjusted for a long time, and that's why that ramp's messed up there, because that thing was hitting down there instead of, I don't know. It was broke before. Now it's working. Okay, so I think we got all that worked out. Now there's 2 more things, because I forgot about the flipper rebuild kits. see. Yep. Cleaned the new rubbers. We fixed the leg plate. We did the back latch. We fixed the diverter. Now we gotta mess with the ramp switch. So apparently on this game, whenever you're going up this ramp, a lot of times the ball is going so fast that it misses this switch. So you can't unlock whatever mode that is. Yeah, that's right. So what people do is they move that switch over here. And by that point, the ball is going a little bit slower, so it hits the switch better and unlocks the mode, and it's more reliable. Yeah, every time. So I'm gonna mess around with that a little bit. I'm not exactly sure my best way I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna get something and bolt it into this bracket. And then I'm gonna bring it out a little bit over here. I'm about to drill a couple more holes in it to put the switch back in it. Just an extender, basically. And we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, well, I'll be back when I figure something out about that. All right, I got the switch moved. It was over here. Now it's over there. All I did was I cut a piece of metal, bolted it in there, drilled a couple holes, bolted the switch in. And now by the time it gets over here, the ball is in this track real nice, so it's gonna hit this switch every time. Over here, it's a little bit wider. So what happened was the ball was bouncing around and it was going real fast and it wasn't hitting the switch every time, but I think it's gonna hit this one every time now. So that works. Bam. It's gonna get it. I think that ought to work pretty good. So the only thing left pretty much is the 3 flipper rebuild kits. I'm gonna let Ronnie handle that. So all he's got to do is rebuild the 3 flippers and he'll probably play a game. We'll see.
All right, folks, so we're going to rebuild the flippers. I don't think they need it, but we're going to do it anyway. So the reason that top flipper is screwed up is because the spring is broken. So it should be pulling that back. Down like that. But since the spring's broken, it's letting it hang out of the way. That's probably all it needs is the spring replaced, but it doesn't even need the spring replaced. It just needs the end of the spring bent to where it holds it. But the customer wants to rebuild the flipper, so we're going to replace everything in those bags. So let me start laying out what goes with this one, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's the old coil stop, and here's the new coil stop. I mean, it looks prettier, but is it going to make the flippers work any better? No, but that's cool. And then here's the old flipper pawl and the new flipper pawl. So I guess somebody had replaced them at some point. And here's the sleeve. It's been replaced too, but we'll put a new one in. Now the end of stroke switch might give us some benefit. And it's got our spring that we need. They're not real expensive. I think this kit costs like $35 or something. Well, maybe with this one, it might be $50 for all of this. All right, folks, I've looked it over. I don't see anything, you know, I'm just thinking if I was going to sell this, what else would I do to it? I don't see anything else I would do to it. We got this all how it needs to be. I think they had the coil on backwards. I'd have to rewatch the previous video, but on these newer ones, the lugs, they at one point swapped them from being down on this end to that end, and it's just it's supposed to be because all of the impact is on the coil stop down there, and so they don't want the lugs down there because it'll break solder joints. But I think it's kind of, you know, I don't know. But that is how they made it. So same thing up here. They were already like that though. New coil stops. This one at one point they have put a stud on instead of it still being threaded for the screw, but that's fine. New flipper, pawls and links and plungers and all that, and springs and end of stroke switches. Now, one of the end of stroke switches was screwed up. The one on the left top flipper. It was all bent out of shape, which you can just bend it back, but it's missing the contact. So you could have made that work, but it's better if it's replaced. So put in all 3 new end of stroke switches. On these newer ones, the end of stroke switch closes whenever the pawl pulls in, whenever the plunger pulls in. The only other thing is this. I don't know if Joey showed it, but this is one of those rings up on the top. It plugs in here, and for whatever reason the little plastic housing is missing. I don't have that size of connector. It's a little tiny one, and it's only 2 pins. I've actually got the 3-pin one, but I don't have the 2-pin one. So I just left it how it was. That's not going to hurt anything, and it can't move enough to touch anything else. Like, it can't move over enough to touch this, for instance. So it's fine like that. I don't know what happened to that. It's not laying in the bottom. Who knows? Only the shadow knows. Look, folks, it's laying right there. I had to do it, okay? So there's really nothing else to do on it. I mean, if you were trying to make it a perfect game, you could take all this stuff apart and paint it and clean it and sandblast it and put clean up the wood. There's some kind of bolt, or there's a nut or something missing there. I wonder if that's from the ramp. Did Joey do that? Yeah, I think that might be from the ramp, so I might have to put that back on. But other than that, everything looks pretty good. So now we'll look at the top of the playfield. All right, so we got the back box open. I just wanted to look, see if there's anything obvious that, again, I would replace if I was going to sell it. Looks like someone's replaced all the ribbon cables, which is a thing on them sometimes, and it has a remote battery holder. I'm not sure, that might be like a factory thing because it plugs in right there. It says battery connector. I think, didn't those have like a separate board that sat on top or something that had the battery on it? But it's got like a little remote one, so that's cool. And everything else looks fine. I don't see anything obviously screwed up. So there's not really a bunch of preventative stuff that needs to be done. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of one of those things where if you have trouble, you fix whatever the problem is. Like the flippers and the switch that Joey messed with, the diverter that wouldn't go proper, all of that. So I don't see anything in the back box that we really need to mess with. The display's got a nice picture on it. So everything looks cool. One thing I would do if I was going to sell it is I would get new coin buttons. You can buy those brand new. What does that say? 50 forint. What in the world is that? And then 100 it. And then that one's blank. So one of the bulbs is working and it was unplugged. It had a wire off of it. And then the other two have the bulbs removed. And this machine has all LEDs in it. So the customer probably has some at home. But to be honest, with that all kind of weird, it's going to look worse with bulbs in it until those get replaced. So it might be better to just leave it dark for now. So I could put 3 little incandescent bulbs in it, but I don't have any LEDs, so I'm just going to leave it how it is. He's probably got some extra LEDs that can slide in there if he wants to illuminate it. That's an easy one. It's right here at the door. Oh, and I got the ring working. I cleaned this up a little bit more that Joey had messed with. And there was one bulb that wasn't working. When I looked at the socket, it was kind of loose. I turned the socket, got it where it was making better contact, and it made the bulb work. And it looks like everything else is lighting up. So I'm going to play it for a second just to make sure everything seems all right. Joey played it a little bit too. And we're going to watch it a while just to make sure there's no big issues. I don't know this game. I haven't played it much, so I've never played it at all. So I don't know all the rules and everything. So I'm not positive everything's working, but I believe everything's working. So let's see if she'll do anything. The balls are in a trough, but I didn't hear them load. There we go. Maybe that did it. What you think? Let's try it again. That did it.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit.
Use left blue button. Well, that worked. Oh, okay. Well, that moves the diverter, and that moves that diverter. All right. Might have to adjust the flippers again. Not quite even. Is it not falling down on the switch? So the ball had gotten stuck. I'll have to look at that. I'd like to make our ramp shot. I wish I had all of you experts here that know all about these. If one of you was here, one of you know-it-alls that watches all the pinball videos, to tell me everything I'm doing wrong, you could show me what shots to make. Yeah, the ball gets stuck, right? There must be something there. It's like a little... What in the world is going on with it? There's something down there that's catching it so it doesn't roll all the way through. Alright. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Okay, well that proves the switch is working perfect. The diverter has moved again though, I think. So we might have to look at that. Yeah, it's not rolling down the trough quite right. We're gonna figure that out. So it looks like the ball is hitting the top of the playfield somehow. Maybe. What in the hell? Interesting. Houston, we have a problem. Well, that would do it. Wouldn't that do it? What in the world? So, is there a piece missing or something? Does that just go like that? Does it go... I wonder if it goes under these or something. Like what is the... What is the purpose of that? Well, let's look at the manual. When in doubt, read the manual. All right, so this is in the manual. It shows the trough assembly. And so this is what we've got. Maybe ours isn't like that. You know, ours is like that. So I don't know why that plastic piece is stuck in there. It sure looks like it's something factory though, but it's also very clear, which makes me think that maybe it's something newer. Could it be a solution to a problem that doesn't exist? Let me see if I can figure out what that thing is. I don't know why they'd go through all the trouble to make that if it's not supposed to be there, but it's not in the pictures. So what's up with that? Shouldn't it show it stuck right here, sticking that way? Huh? What's the deal with that? Why are there extra parts in our trough assembly? So it's an upgrade. Ball trough plastic shim, Bally Williams. For Bally and Williams games, approximately 1994 and up, so Shadow is from 94. This plastic shim fits in the metal ball trough at the front of the playfield and helps keep balls from getting stuck in the metal trough. Well, ain't that a kick in the butt? All right, well, I'm gonna go put it back. Wouldn't want wouldn't want the balls to get stuck in the trough without it. Okay, so I checked the diverter, and just because of the way the spring is, how that whole thing is made different than the other one that Joey was showing you, it's fine. It's just it's easier to move. So there's a little play in it, so sometimes it's not quite all the way to the left, but there's plenty of room for the ball to still go around. And it's certainly a lot better than it was. And the flippers I adjusted to get where they're more even. If it'll find the pinball. Where is our last pinball? There it is. How did it not know they're not up there though? Might be a problem. All right, so it's seeing the ball land in the trough now. I need to lock the ball though, I guess in the sanctum. See, it knows it's upper. It says ball 1 locked, so it knows it's upper. And that switch worked as well.
Behold the purpose.
Oh, you're supposed to avoid them. I didn't avoid much.
The sun is shining, but the ice is slippery. Summer's coming. Get the saddle now!
It didn't make it. It said ball 2 locked, but it didn't get in there. think it...
What are you doing?
All right, so kick the ball out at the end of the ball. Okay, that makes sense. So basically, I shut it down in the middle of the game earlier because the balls were stuck in the trough. So I'm going to play one more game just to make sure it seems all right. That one time the ball didn't actually go in the sanctum. Alright, I got it that time. Ball one locked, the door went back up. Inner sanctum lock lit. I think I can only make that shot from my left flipper, unless I do it like that. Ball two locked, all right. It'd be good to see that multi-ball happen so that we can make sure that works all right. Use flippers to move the kicker.
What are you doing? Attack.
I may continue for one credit. Oh, it didn't let me. Oh, I probably had to hit a button.
Chicken sissy, come on, play again.
Nah, I don't think I will. All right, folks, there you go. That's the Shadow. It seems to be playing fine for me. We'll play it a little longer for the customer just to make sure everything's all right. And now it's the best time of the video. Y'all get to go down below and tell us everything we did wrong.